Welcome to another edition of Straight Shooting Sports Talk, and I'm your host, Dujane Bland. And today we're going to be talking about the NFL, looking at the Steelers and the Rams. It's going to be a very interesting matchup. Two teams, one that's on the upswing after starting the season terribly, allowing 27.2 points per game. Now, in the last two, they've allowed a total of 22 points combined in those two games. Very, very amazing turnaround. Ben Roethlisberger and that Steeler offense, with the injuries that they suffered on the offensive line, have seemed like they've started to get into a rhythm. They're running the ball a little bit better. Ben has a little bit more protection, and he's able to get the ball down the field to his quick wide receivers. The other side of the ball, we have Terrell Pryor out, back in. This is a football team that's struggling on offense to produce points. The Oakland Raiders have been outscored about 271 to 139. That's a drastic margin. If you're not scoring points, you're not winning football games. Doesn't matter how well your defense is playing. Now, the Oakland Raider defense, very, very good when they rush the passer and play and have that rest that a defense needs. Now, as we talked about, being that they're getting outscored, that means that the offense is not producing any drives to get points. One. Two, the defense is out there too long, and they're getting scored upon over and over again because they can't stop anybody. Now, we go into this matchup. Now, both of these teams are struggling, but when you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're clearly on the upswing. They look more cohesive and more together on both sides of the ball. Now, when you look at the Raiders offense, they have the read option. They have McFadden, a very stout running back. That's a two-headed monster that they can use to try to offset and try to create some big plays down the field by sucking the linebackers up, forcing them to respect the run. Now, they're going to have to be effective in this department. We know what the Steelers have faced this read option offense on several occasions. We saw a couple years ago, I think it was last year, against the Washington Redskins. When they faced that read option, they pretty much shut it down. And that's when the read option for the Washington Redskins was very, very effective. So coming into this game with a Terrell Pryor that really hasn't shown that he can be very consistent in throwing the ball down the field, I'm going to have to take the Pittsburgh Steelers in this one. I don't think you can bet against Lamar Woodley and Troy Polamalu over there. Those guys are playing very well. Polamalu getting involved in not just the pass, but the run game. Steelers definitely win this football game and probably win it in big fashion. Now we take a look at some games around the league, and we start with the 7-0 Chiefs and the 3-4 Browns. We know what the Chiefs have been doing. They kind of skated by last week against the Texans. I didn't expect for that game to be that close, especially with Case Keenum starting there. But it was a close one. They were able to pull out the win. With the Browns, we have another changing of the guard there. No more Brandon Wheaton. Hello, Jason Campbell. Jason Campbell gets another start, gets another opportunity to establish himself as a starter in this league. And we know what Jason Campbell can do. We've seen him on various occasions, whether with the Bears or with the Washington Redskins, even sometime with the Raiders. We've seen what he can do out there. They have the weapons. They have the tight ends. We'll see what they can do against this Chiefs football team, but I think the Chiefs are too sound all the way around. They're going to get the win here. Now we move on to our next matchup. Falcons and Cardinals, two birds. And 2-4 for the Falcons, 3-4 for the Arizona Cardinals. I'm sorry. My man just throws too many interceptions for me, and Carson Palmer just throws too many interceptions. I'm sorry. The guy is an interception machine, and at the wrong moment, he throws an interception. Again, like I said last week, the Falcons know what they have to do to get a win. They have to keep pace with the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints, if they want to even think about getting into the playoffs, they know what's at stake. They're going to take advantage of a football team that's really up and down, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and a quarterback that can't seem to not turn it over. I'm taking the Falcons here. Now, our Sunday night matchup, Green Bay, Vikings, Josh Freeman. I feel sorry for that guy. I'm sorry. You don't put that guy out there like that. And after you've seen the first quarter, you should have put Carson Palmer in. He's not going to do you any good doing what he's doing. They're going to stick with him, and I see the Green Bay Packers getting after him just like the Giants got after him because he's just simply not ready. He doesn't know enough of the offense to be effective, and they're stacking the box, forcing him to beat them with his arm. No Adrian Peterson, no balanced attack, and if he's got to be on his shoulders right now, they're not going to win this football game. I'm taking the Packers in this one. Our last Monday night game, Seahawks, Rams. 3-4 Rams, 6-1 Seahawks. We know what the Seahawks are doing. They're getting it done. They're very tenacious, fast, flying around, taking away the football. Very balanced attack on offense. No Sam Bradford for the Rams. Not saying he was doing such a great job, but you can't have all this turnover. And with a turnover at the helm, the leader, the offense, when they were already struggling, it's going to be very, very difficult for this football team. It's a lot for that defense, that Rams defense, to take care of. And if the Rams cannot sustain offense, which I don't think they can do against this very quick and very greedy Seahawks defense, you're not going to win the game. And that's why we're not picking them. I'm taking the Seahawks in this one. It's going to be the Seahawks big. I think this game's over probably at halftime. It's just that bad of a team there with the Rams. Well, those are our highlights around the league. Now we take a look at another big matchup going on in the league. The 4-3 Jets take on the 5-2 Bengals. It's going to be a very interesting matchup when you think about it. No one really thought, even myself, never really thought that the Jets would be what they are today. With the circus that had been going on there all last year, kind of had a little bit of that. And then you have a guy that's very confident, and Geno Smith, kind of cocky at times, coming into this situation with Rex Ryan and his loose cannon of a mouth. The getting rid of Darrelle Revis, and we thought this team would be a joke. But Geno Smith has done a very good job of keeping this football and team in games. And on top of that, the defense has played very well. And we know Rex Ryan is defensive minded, and he's doing an excellent job with this defense. Now we look at Andy Dalton, kind of a slow start for him. Well, when I look at it from fantasy stats, slow start for him in the touchdown department. Now he's blowing it up the last 2 games, and he has 11 touchdowns on the year. This guy is really, really doing an excellent job of spreading the football around, finding his man, A.J. Green, and A.J. Green lighting it up. And this team is on a roll, doing what they have to do to try to stay on top and right around in that division lead there so they can get some kind of playoff spot. Now, these two teams are pretty much, almost evenly matched. I say the advantage on offense definitely goes to the Bengals. But defensively, both of these defenses are playing very, very well. It's very, very hard for me to call this one. You want to go with the Jets. You like what Geno Smith is doing. He's making plays with his feet. He's making plays down the field. He's been pretty smart with the football in the last couple of games, but you can't bet against Andy Dalton. He's just been really lighting it up in the touchdown department. That offense has been doing an excellent job. And even though they fell short last week, man, that was a heck of a game. And Granted, this Jets team's going to have to put up 25 to 28 points if they want to secure and be sure that they're going to win this football game. I don't think that can happen. I think that Geno's going to at least turn it over once or twice, and that's going to give the Bengals an opportunity to really get ahead, and it'd be something that would kill the Jets' opportunities to win this football game. So we're definitely going with the Cincinnati Bengals in this one. Well, we thank you for watching our show. Again, comments are welcome. And if you have any comments about this particular show, leave them at the bottom of our page. If you have a topic, if you have something you want us to discuss about your team, or just something going on in the news around the league, you want to hear our take, shoot us an email, straightshootingst@gmail.com. And as always, subscribe to the show. Again, you've been watching Straight Shooting Sports Talk.